Unfortunately, I even hate to have to talk about this because
Yeah.
we sound like broken records. Is like the quadrillionth time another school shooting.
Mm-hmm.
This time, it happened at Florida State University on Thursday. Um, the shooting left 5 people injured and 2 others dead.
I just want to say really quickly, obviously, as things keep coming out about the story, the numbers may change, different
Yeah,
things may be found out. So if you are interested, make sure you go and see like what the most current updates are, because by the time we post this, news changes every day.
yeah. So like I mentioned, a shooting happened at Florida State University, and the shooting left 5 people injured and 2 others dead. The shooter was identified as a 20-year-old boy. He was a student of the university and the son of a sheriff deputy. Officials say her son used one of her weapons in the shooting. The shooter is now in custody and he is also hospitalized. So that's why some reports say that 6 people were injured. Um, and this is not just this week. We had another shooting, and that shooting happened at a high school in Dallas, Texas. It's so infuriating that these school shootings continue to happen. Not only school shootings, just shootings at regular places of living anywhere, and nothing changes. Is the 1 week of outrage, of news reports everywhere. Then when it's time to pass legislation, it's always met with some sort of obstacles. And I just don't understand, what is it going to take. Kids have died because of guns, like middle age, in high school, in everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter who passes away, who, it doesn't matter, nothing. Like, it gets to a point that, like, this is why it pisses me off when we're consistently here talking about, the current administration and all of the things that they're focused on, because you got all this energy for things that are not issues. But then when it's something at so simple and so evident as gun reform, you're mute. Like, all of this energy that you are wasting on diversity, equity, and inclusion, on school curriculums, you should be redirecting to help fix the gun problem in America. Because this is unacceptable. It's just been 1 week and we've had 2 school shootings. Isn't that, like, how do you feel when you see these? Because my heart goes out to these victims, especially the family, because I feel like now in 2025, you see this and you can't even be like, well, I hope that this is the shooting that's going to create change, because
And,
you know that it's not.
and I just want to let me make sure that this is the student that did it. Okay, got it.
It
Because I
was a
have
20-year-old.
yeah, I just needed to see what he looked like. You asked me how I feel. I feel exhausted because I feel like I'm tired of repeating the same thing. And clearly, it always falls to deaf ears, and the deaf ears it falls on is the victims. So, whenever there's a school shooting, we've talked about this in past episodes, they talk about mental health. And then you see the people say, guns kill people. No, let me rephrase that because I know somebody going to take that wrong. We see the people usually say the phrase, people kill people, guns don't kill people. What does that person have in their hand? I could punch somebody dead in the face right now, and if I hit them at the right time, at the right precision, they could die. Is it likely? No. Could it happen? Yes. If I have a gun and I shoot somebody in the forehead, what's their chances of survival? Not that great. So it's like we make these things very accessible for people, and we sit there and we say mental health. Yes, mental health is an issue, but the fact of the matter is somebody has the gun in their hand to impact or help them sit there with their mental issues, go and do something.
But even then, when these people try to say that it's mental health,
Y'all
what
not
are you doing to help the mental health? Because you're actually eliminating health insurance, making it harder for people to get the help that they need. So it's even contradicting. Let's say that it is true and you do believe that it's not the guns, it's the mental health. You're restricting, you're making it harder for people to get the help that they need, especially us our age. like our generation, this is why they're dealing with so much depression and sadness, because everything just feels, you know how you said it's exhausting? A lot of us feel that way. We were raised with school shootings. We were raised with everything being just hard. Like even like simple goals as like owning a house and going to college, even that has become harder because people are trying to make it harder for you to get financial aid, right? Who knows if we're ever going to be able to own a home. Like every day we wake up to things that is just like exhausting, and
And
it
it's like,
leads to people to do these types of things. Not like, it's just very hard to be a young person in America
it's just
today.
hard to be a person in general in America right now. And the thing is that also bothers me is like we're talking about exhaustion, right? And it's like every day I already stress about the things that I need to stress about. My student loans, like paying bills, this, that, and the third. I have a sister who is in college. When I see these college shootings, now instead of me thinking my child, I said my child, my sister is safe on her campus, I have to think every day, I hope to goodness nobody is sad or hurt or angry enough to sit there and impact my whole family by doing something
Mhm.
at her college.
And also, like, if you have a gun, make like, it's like, again, we sound like broken records. If you are a sheriff deputy, I'm sure you have training on how to lock up your guns or your, I don't even know, I don't think we could say that on YouTube. But if you have a firearm, make sure that you are taking the right precautions. If you feel so strongly about that amendment and everyone should have the right to bear arms, that comes with a responsibility. That comes with a responsibility. You need to make sure if you have a firearm that you are locking it up, and so no one can get to it.
Exactly, exactly. And Shayla mentioned this earlier, which is an amazing point. We keep focusing on the things that's not our biggest issue. We're so focused on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. These school shooters, there's not much diversity when you see who's the people doing them. But that doesn't seem to be the main concern. We're worried about a Latino, or we're worried about Haitians who are here trying to
Yeah, or
work
black
these
people in general.
right, these jobs that people don't want to do at all. We worried about that. We're worried about taxes, but y'all not talking about tariffs. We worried about minorities, but you're not talking about the percentage of white school shooters going to these schools impacting people's lives. We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion only applies to those they feel are beneath them.
Yeah, yeah. Because when it's someone that's a part of a minority, they don't bring the mental health card up. They
No,
don't.
it's
They
a part
say,
of
"Oh,
their
it's
nature.
because you are of this race that you did this." And again, like I feel like I don't want to be insensitive to the families that were impacted by this, because it has to be so heartbreaking, especially when you know that nothing is going to change. You know what I mean? Like, will you ever reach justice? Let's say even like legislation does pass, you're never going to see your family member again. And like, I know Rebecca says this all the time. I know no parent wants to bury their kid.
And I
And like,
firmly
again,
believe
you work so hard probably to send your kid to college, and the last thing, regardless, I don't know if these individuals were students or were not, but regardless, the last thing that you're thinking is that you're going to be on a college campus and something like this is going to happen. Like, we are always we have to be so tense, right? Because these shootings are happening everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. You feel like you got to be on 10. And for people like me that overthink just naturally, like, people be like, "Oh, just relax." I'm like, how can I relax when every day you wake up to something else?
right, right.
Oof.
And to your point where we mentioned, I am a firm believer in children bury parents, parents don't bury children. I wholeheartedly believe that. And
Yeah,
every day we see parents being impacted in some type of way
yeah,
because their children had to lose their lives for something that as simple as a firearm. It's ridiculous. And
it
like to
is.
your point also, whenever it's a minority that does a crime, we're so quick to point out that they're a minority. This black man, black woman, man, Latino woman. I remember
Mhm.
when that whole incident happened, where that man set a woman on fire on the
In New
train in
York.
New York. They were so quick to say this illegal immigrant set this woman on fire. But the moment a school shooter goes to a school, a white school shooter at that, suspect in custody. Who's the suspect?
And then when people mention like, oh, why do people always bring race things up? And it's like, because sometimes it is the thing and it is the point, right? Because they pick and choose when it is relevant.